this area here. Maybe a little bit extended actually. Maybe we're more looking sort of this area. And then obviously, you know, your complete stop should be around here, but you know, you're wanting to try and basically keep your stop loss as tight as possible based on price action. So, you know, you'd be looking for sort of like a quick tap, then a flush of buyers, and then, you know, you'd be trailing your stop loss basically along with the sellers. Kind of retargeting like sort of this area around here. But yeah, definitely bearish on NQ today. We're already starting to see a sell-off on other equities, so NQ should follow theoretically. But yeah, ES has definitely taken the same low. So anyway, guys, how's everyone's week been? I've already told you that mine's been a little bit dry. But what about everyone else? I know that Jet Black's been in a pretty similar boat to me. He's not been liking the looks of the markets lately, so he's been staying out as well. AJ, rough week, got humbled by the market. What happened, bro? Paolo, welcome in, welcome in. How you doing? Just got home. Nice. Is that from work or gym? Ready to kill the markets. Yeah, man. I mean, from what you showed me earlier, you already have 3k on a gold trade. Gym, I went to get some food. Yeah, nice one, bro. Was not getting my entry models to start entering without confirmation. That'll be a surefire way to kill an account. So I'm glad you've come back to your senses now. But yeah, that's a dangerous territory, man. Rudy Jr., how you doing? What's everyone's plans for the weekend, guys? Hello. Honestly, I'm expecting a huge sell-off on NQ today. Like, if you compare it to other equities markets, you know, we're definitely due a drop on NQ. We already came up just before market open, flushed out all these stops from basically early sellers. Flushed all the stops, pushed buyers to their TPs. Obviously, that would be the commercial longs. And yeah, now we're dropping, but I'm expecting a pullback in sort of like this area here, where I'll then consider like layering in some shorts. Mission Impossible tomorrow. Okay. You know what? I've actually never watched a Mission Impossible movie. Jet Black, actually my trading week wasn't that bad, made 1.8% profits, that's great, yeah man, can't go wrong. Like, profit's profit at the end of the day. Yeah, I just meant it more in a way of like, you know, the markets haven't really been offering too much this week. But I mean, I'm meant to be out tonight. Which actually reminds me, Darren. I don't know if you fancy it, but you know, if you want to come out with like just me, Kizzy, and that lot, we're going out and celebrating Chelsea's mum's birthday. So Darren is here, yeah. He started attending like this week. He was in a couple of Eric's live streams, I think, then like 1 or 2 of mine, and obviously now he's here. But yeah, he's just trying to get back into sort of trading space, you know. I don't think we're gonna get a push up into this zone, to be honest. We might though. Oh, AJ spelt it wrong. I know it's only a GIF, bro. Darren's just got a really weird way of spelling it, because he's a little neek. Alright, no worries, man. Darren, just let me know if you're out later. Like, just message me on Facebook or something. Alright, man. Take it easy. Good luck with PCs. Remember gold trade I was in. Oh, bro. That's killer. Do you actually reckon you'd have, like, been able to hold it that long, though? I'd be rich money millionaire holding this. You reckon you could hold that? I don't reckon I'd be able to, you know. I reckon I'd crumble. Like, at least on gold. Like, if it was NQ, then, you know, I feel like I'd be more comfortable holding that. But gold's just a market I don't know, so, you know, personally, I'd have fumbled the bag on that one. But I've got no balls for that. Fair. So first target for shorts is going to be obviously London low, and then we'll have Asia low, and then to me this is just like liquidity, so you know we should really sweep that. So then I'm going to be wanting to see New York low instead. So basically, if we take Asia low, then we should take this low as well. But for now, we're just trying to get entry. Just really hoping to try and get a tap in somewhere sort of like 60s and upwards. We peaked at 44, so 16 points off, but yeah, seems to just be dropping now. The main thing now is just not to chase it. You know, if we miss the move, we miss the move. It is what it is. This market doesn't give entry, swear to God. Yeah. It's been tricky, man. This week's definitely been tricky. Like, you missed Monday, Tuesday? Or did you also miss Wednesday? I can't really remember. Wednesday too. Yeah. Yeah, like they were. I think they were the more stressful days, to be honest. Like Tuesday, I got almost eaten alive, bro. Like I was sat just like watching this like really slow grind to the top side, and then 2 hours later, I start noticing like a little bit of weakness in price. So I'm thinking, okay, possible shorts, and I end up getting short. I end up getting short somewhere around here, and my TP was literally the very bottom of this candle, and it just didn't trigger. Like my TP was there, and I needed it to come down to here, so one tick below for it to actually like trigger my TP, and then it just reversed the entire way and just stopped me out. And then I tried shorts again from somewhere around here. I think I got in like around here. And I was just targeting this zone here. And yeah, again, it dropped a little bit. I moved stop loss to like not break even, but like just like a smaller loss. And then came up and literally like top ticked me out. And then we dropped, and then we pushed up, and then I saw that we failed here, so I ended up trying it again just there. And because I was using this as my stop loss, I was actually able to enter with like a much larger position. And then obviously I caught this whole move here, and it just recovered all my losses, and I just got out, and I was just like, you know what, I'm done with the day. Like I don't want to be getting caught in this, like recovery phase chop. I'm kind of glad I did, because we didn't even really drop that much. Like I know we came down and took my original TP, but yeah, we just ended up just chopping around for days after. And yeah, it was this session here that just like really cemented it in my mind that I'm just staying out of the markets. I managed to catch a trade yesterday. What did I catch yesterday? I forgot what time it was. I messaged Palo. 340. Oh, okay, yeah. So I managed to catch shorts from here, and literally I got out like at the halfway point of here, like of this bearish candle here, just because I didn't like this, I didn't like the constant chop. So I was expecting it to just kind of like come retest this, push back up, retest here, push back down, and just continue chopping, or it'd either break the low or break the high and then just push. So I managed to catch shorts, got out just here, and then yeah, I didn't want to get caught in slow grinding moves, which is exactly what this is. It takes a long time for it to actually play out. Anyone that knows me knows I like my fast trades, just in, out, 2 to 5 minutes, and, just call it a day. Yeah, 5:30 our time, yeah. But yeah, that's the only real, like, proper trade that I've caught this week. Like, all the rest has just been, I'm not going to say lucky, because, I've still obviously been analysing the markets and, watching price action, etc., but, like, they haven't really quite done what I wanted them to, and I just happened to get out at the right time. Yeah, I'm seeing a bit of recovery on equities right now. Thank you, still broken. We'll try one more reload. Hey, there we go. We've got a fixed chart. Happy days. Apologies if there's any background noise, guys. I've got my windows open because it's quite warm in the UK today. Yeah, we're just not quite getting that push that we're after. Sort of anywhere in this area, I'd be happy with layering in shorts. I feel like this is, I don't know, it's not a good enough price to validate it, you know. Otherwise, I would have just been layering in when we pushed up here. Did that mitigate it? No. See, I'd like this setup if this candle wasn't so large. You know, if we had like a smaller one at the top, and then this breakdown, then I'd say that it's looking kind of like an MSS setup. You know, we sweep this like liquidity up here, and then we break down, break this low. Obviously, plant the low here, push up. We've got planted liquidities at both points. Push straight back down, breaking this low. And then obviously we're looking for a sweep of the liquidity, which is just here. And then you'd be wanting a tap in the last bullish candle before the move. But that's just too large for me to validate as a setup. You know, if it was this candle here, but just to the left and bullish, I'd be more than happy to enter. But you know, given the fact that this is now indicating that, you know, we've already tapped in just there, obviously that would be like the 100% mark of the order block. Short position, so you'd be in shorts just there, but then realistically your stop loss would be just there, and your TP would be just there. So it's not even a one-to-one risk to reward. So yeah, this single candle invalidates the whole trade for me. Like I still think it's going to drop. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I can't justify it as like an MSS setup. Even though we are getting a really nice reaction from just tapping into the 100%. you know, got rejected. Buyers tried one last time off a VWAP. Immediately, sellers have now stepped in, rejected them, given them all lower prices. But again, the markets are just really slow now. You know, we're not really moving all too much. What's gold saying? Getting some crazy moves on gold lately. Like just in Asia yesterday, 72 points. Today, 45 points. Yeah, I know you're a fiend for volatile gold, bro. Paulius, welcome in, man. How you doing? Basically no spreads. Oh, nice. What, is the volume really that high in Asia that it's got no spread? Or have you got fixed spread? Fixed, yeah. Paulius, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. You know, it's Friday, end of the week, so you know, nice 2 days to chill out, relax, reassess what's going on with the markets. But that's not what I mean. The move's been so big, even though the spreads are like 0.30, about 30 cents. The move's big enough that you don't care. Yeah, no, I get you. Gold should be bullish. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about gold, to be honest, because obviously it is very high. You know, like yeah, you have to understand it is ridiculously overextended. Like, you know, the last couple of years, gold's just exploded, and you know, obviously, like, all of this was caused, you know, from tariff announcements and, you know, just general market instability. And now, obviously, we're kind of gathering stability again within the markets. You know, tariffs are A, paused, and B, you know, everyone's making trade deals, etc., etc. So then, theoretically, you know, if this was the move that gold did when they were announced, then obviously when they're no longer in effect, you know, now you're looking for gold to kind of make a similar move. Obviously, I know that it won't all be, you know, taken back because, you know, there's external factors. It's not just tariffs. But, you know, so far we're hovering around like the sort of 50% mark. You know, I don't know. Maybe, in my opinion, it would be either a retest or sweep of this zone before pushing back up. But obviously that's... actually, I don't know. To be fair, it's not that far away. But yeah, it's tricky, man. It's tricky. And I mean, I always struggle with higher time frames anyway, to be honest. Like, unless it's got a clear, like, MSS, I have no idea. Because, you know, like, things will look bullish on a higher time frame, but then, you know, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't just go up, does it? So, you know, it has to turn around eventually. We start betting. We should start a betting thing on what traders think about the next move on the pairs. Oh, Polly, what about Poly Market? Is it called? Oh, you're on about binary options. Yeah. Oh man, welcome in. How you doing? In my opinion, stupid as fuck. To be fair, I reckon I could make some decent money if I was to do binary options. My only concern is that there only seems to be like one platform for it. Like everyone uses the same platform, and everyone complains that they don't actually send the payouts. Like you'll get like your first like 1 or 2, and then you just don't get any more. So, you know, I'm not sure how I feel about binary options. But I reckon I could make some decent money. I mean, imagine like an MSS strategy, right? And you just because you make like a percentage, don't you? Like you don't make profit for every tick it goes down. It's just even if it's like 1 tick below, you'll make like 94% profit or something on like. Yeah. It depends on the market. I think for Forex currencies, it's like 94%. For NQ, well, for equities, I think it was 70%. For gold, I think it was 80%. And then but like, even that, you know, you risk sort of like 5% per trade, you know, 70%. You sorted, aren't you? As long as you got a good win rate. But what I've also not seen but heard is like the charts aren't their own. There's the Michigan Consumer Sentiment. Yeah, like the charts aren't accurate. Like they make them themselves. Cool. That was yesterday, bro. He's not speaking today. He's the Brendan Magic brother. Hammer and magnet. Nah, we're not bringing out the forbidden strategy today. H&M. The H&M 2025 strat. Did any of you guys used to have a BlackBerry? Like the mobile phone. Do you ever have a BlackBerry? You loved it. Do you remember BBM? And everyone being like, yeah, what's your BBM pin? And like, you know, if you didn't message someone back in like 2 seconds, then they'd ping you like 100 times. Well, we've got our own version of that on the markets, right? It's the BBM strategy, and it's you know, you place a bull, and then you place a magnet, and you rotate that sucker, and you do this, and then you just go like this, and look, instantly, just straight up. And then obviously it's BBM because it's a bull, or you get a bear. So it's BBM, bull, bear, magnet. Forbidden Strategies Part 2. Use the bull down, bro. That'd be a bear, wouldn't it? I haven't got the bear. Where's the bear? The cow. Here it is. So for this one, it'd be the bear, and then the magnet. You drag it down. You get the little face. You do this. Then you see if it comes down. But you got to do it in the right markets, you know. But I mean, to be fair, it came down a little bit. I only wiggled him a little bit. And if in doubt, make him even bigger. Make the banknote more strong. And now you're laughing. If in doubt, make it bigger. Oh, just don't do that with your lot size. It should be a motto for a Viagra. Oh, you meant like hitting it with a horn. So what, like have it like here, and then just knock it up? Like that, yeah? The hammer and magnet is undefeated, but it's only when you're in an active trade. That's the only time it works. And you heard it here first, folks. It's the only time. Oh, I feel like this is going to be a YouTube short. Surely will. Oh, at least we're having fun in markets that want to make us cry. We're building a lot of like liquidity in this area, though. What the fuck happened there with the news? Just wicked down, failed to break anything, bought back up, remained in the same zone. It was only in Michigan. It's not volatile at all, so it didn't really move too much. 48 points, so not the craziest news release. I think we had some other like smaller releases as well, kind of like alongside it. Yeah, we had like these two. So yeah, overall nothing too special. US 30, yeah, US 30 was a buy. Came down, swept these lows. NQ failed to sell off, so obviously then other equities then have to recover. So Russell as well. Russell bought up. ES bought up, and obviously US 30 also bought up. So they were the trades, but obviously I only really trade NQ, so I'm basically looking for the opposite. I want the other ones to fail to do something while NQ has, and then buy up NQ or sell off NQ or whatever. But yeah, I genuinely reckon that NQ is either going to gap down Monday open, and we're going to open below here, and then during Asia we're going to have a really volatile push, or London open, to be fair, really volatile push, retag this zone, and then from there it's anyone's guess as to if we're going to push back up or if we're going to break it and maybe see a retest of prior week levels. But yeah, that's my guesstimation. If it plays out, I want people to tag me and call me a god or whatever. You don't actually have to do that, by the way. I ain't saying that, bro. Don't worry, Jet Black, I got you, bro. And just so you all know, there will be no stream from me next week in this server. Because, as you all know, I love doing my little Friday streams in this server. You know, it's nice just kind of talk to people, hear like your weekend plans, have it a little bit more laid back. You know, not try harding as we are sort of, you know, Monday to Thursday. But next Friday, I'm getting a throat tattoo, so I won't be available. I might be able to get back in time for the charts, but I'm not going to guarantee it. So obviously it's easier to just you know, plan not to do it. All right, Jet Black. Yeah, price is just chopping away. Fucking hell. There you go. Pretty much just resembles what the markets are doing right now, you know. Chop, chop, pretty boy. That made me think of oh, what movie is it? Is it a Scary Movie? Where they're doing like the reenactment of the Exorcist. Yeah. The wick taps the order block with the news on ES. Which order block? What are you looking at? Yeah, I wouldn't really class that as a valid order block though. That's my only issue. Like, it didn't really sweep anything. Obviously, I know. Obviously, it took like this low, you know, broke the low, and then came up, broke the high. But I wouldn't really class this as like a liquidity level. Before we then obviously push back up and, you know, continue to then break the high. And ideally, I'd be wanting this high getting broken first. So yeah, I wouldn't really say that's a valid order block. It'll probably hold up, but like for what I look for, probably not something that I'd be interested in personally. Jetpack bro, where do you find these? Yeah, these markets are miserable, guys. Oh, is it? Oh, mad. Oh no, it's not. It's not that movie at all. It's Evil Dead. Oh, it doesn't play as a GIF when I copy it. Fuck. It's like a little like demon girl, and she's like under like a trap door, and the guy was like standing above it, and then she like stands there, like she's in the thing and like says that. Uh, it's it's a weird scene, all right. But for some reason, I thought it was the girl from Scary Movie when like she's like on the bed and like she starts like vomiting everywhere and then like her head starts spinning around and she's doing the whole like exorcism thing. I mean, this area I was waiting to short and already. Yeah, it's basically the same area as us. Like, I was expecting it to kind of push up here, tap in, and then kind of follow the rest of the market. But yeah, it's. I mean, ES has obviously hit the zone. TP hasn't quite hit yet. But yeah, it's disappointing, man. Just noticed my order opened on MES only, not ES. How come you placed it on both? I mean, it's profit either way, man. But yeah, how come you opened? Well, how come you placed orders on MES and ES? Or are you doing sort of like 1.2 minis? So obviously it's like 1 mini and then 2 micros. Because I sometimes do it for my MSS strategies. Like there was one. When was it? Here, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So. No, it wasn't there, was it? Where was my... Was it Wednesday? I've forgotten when I saw my MSS setup. I could have sworn it was Thursday. $14th. What are we on today? 16th. Okay, yeah, so it was here. Oh, it's because I'm on ES, that's why I'm not seeing it. Durr. Yeah, there it is. So you had like all of this like liquidity basically being built up here, right? But we'd already tagged into the 100% of this order block while still forming like liquidity. So obviously that kind of invalidates entering off the 100% of this order block. So now we're only targeting the 50. But let's say, for example, if we hadn't have tapped into the 100, then what I'd usually do is I'd have micros set up here. Obviously, stop loss 1 tick just below the low, targeting the high of the 2 points, and then I'd have a mini, or several minis, or whatever I'm fancying, depending on the size of the stop loss. Kind of like that. So obviously, if it just taps in, I'm not risking too much with obviously a larger stop loss. And then, if it then flies from the 100%, still make profit. And then as it taps into the 50%, you're then wanting to enter in with a larger position, which is then why minis then come into it. And then obviously when it flies up, you know, you're making a hell of a lot more, but you're not really risking too much more because obviously, you know, usually this is 50% of your stop loss, you know. Like normally your stop loss would look like this because this is usually this order block is like the lowest candle. Obviously this is a different example because we've got one before it that just wicked down. So in this example the stop loss is slightly larger, but usually, you know, it's able to cut your risk in half point wise. So obviously then if you go in with, I don't know, double the position size, you know, you're still risking the same amount. But yeah, I mean, even this, to be fair, you know, with one mini, you know, you're risking just under $400 in order to make like over $1,700. So, just over $1,500. Sorry, I was wondering why it said target 77, but open P&L was like 86. Okay, getting a little bit of a push up on NQ. My only issue is now is that everything else is now kind of fair value, so we don't really have that edge in order to really get sells. If anything, I'd be saying buys on Russell more than anything. You know, you've got US 30 pushing up, you've got NQ pushing up, you've got ES pushing up, but Russell still quite low. So, you know, Russell's now going to be basically wanting to push up back to this high in order to meet the market. Yeah, so honest opinion, trade's actually on Russell. It's not on NQ still. Do you usually set limit orders in advance or wait for the confirmation? I do usually set limit orders in advance, but if we go back to Wednesday's example, so for example, I'd be waiting for this area here before placing my limit orders. So we've already had the sweep, which then led straight away into a break. We've then got continued break, and this was a harder one to spot because it's not so much like a single point of like liquidity; it's an entire block of liquidity. But you know, once this has been formed, obviously we then get this really nice push up, which then gives us that confirmed break, which basically tells you that we're going to remain bullish after we take out the liquidity, right? That's what this step here is telling you. So then I kind of wait for, you know, a bit of a sell-off, and that's then when I place my limit orders. So I don't start placing them just as we break here, because obviously, you know, it could just completely invalidate it, and we could just come down and stop out. So, you know, you have to kind of wait for the whole thing to almost play out before placing limit orders. But yeah, it's quite good, to be honest, because, you know, you place a limit order and, you know, your stop loss is just a couple points usually. You know, the markets have been a little bit dicier lately, so, you know, the stop losses are now average sort of like 20 points. But, you know, a couple months ago, you know, when me and Palo were trading together, it was, you know, we were getting sort of like 6-point stop losses, 5-point stop losses, and, you know, like 200-point take profits, 150-point take profits. Like, it was crazy. So it's selling off. Russell's still not really doing anything. What about the rest of the market? The rest of the market's also selling off. So this could be the narrative basically now pushing down to try and meet up with Russell again. But yeah, really not the easiest markets to trade, guys. Like this is kind of an okay setup because you know you can have ones where basically it does this, right? So you know you come up, you sweep, which is exactly what we have here. We've came up, we've swept, and you drop down, make a new low. We've dropped down, made a new low. And then you're chopping around, making that block of liquidity rather than single points. And that's exactly what this is, big block of liquidity. Push up, you sweep, push up, sweep, tap into a nice order block, stop loss just at the high, and then basically, you know, you're targeting sort of the bottom of this like liquidity zone, and then you kind of like trying to leave a runner because the markets are telling you that it's going to drop even further. Which for me would then be, you know, London low, Asia low, previous New York low. But, you know, again, the one thing that's kind of putting me off is just the sheer size of this, you know, quote unquote order block candle. I don't see that as an order block, in my opinion. I that's, as Eric said earlier, you know, that's just a pure manipulation candle. But yeah, just really tricky markets, and like there's just no value either. So we're either going to get a nice move in sort of like the later session, you know, sort of like 4 or 5 hours from now, or we're going to get, you know, just a large gap on Monday, a crazy volatile Monday again, basically a cut and paste of this week. And then, yeah, we'll just have to kind of see which way the markets are wanting to go after that. But yeah, not the greatest, not the greatest day, not the greatest week. But it's always nice to kind of like speak to other people, you know, when the markets are like this, because you realize like a lot of people will try and trade this and they'll start blaming themselves. You know, they'll start thinking that there's something wrong with their, you know, their mindset, their trading strategy, whatever. You know, things aren't working out. Why am I not seeing any plays? Blah blah blah. You know, the market's moving, but I'm not seeing anything. And you know, talking to other people, like it just helps you kind of realize that actually it is just the markets. You know, it's just a bad week. And yeah, it can just kind of help you from doubting yourself, you know. Because the way I see it, as a doubtful trader is a losing trader. What was the trades? Basic PA 2 shorts. I'm assuming one of them was this one here. Just there. Not sure what you'd have been targeting, either this low here or, you know, holding it for a new low on the New York session. And then the last drop, yeah, just basic retest, push and break. Just holding and seeing how price moves. Oh, what, you're in shorts? Oh, what are you holding? Oh, as in just holding off from... Oh, okay. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I knew that you'd be interested in like this area here. And then obviously this is just basic retest. Could have caught really nice shorts though. Sorry, longs. Would have been close of this candle. Stop loss just there. Initial TP would have been the high of these wicks, and then you'd be targeting the high of this area here. It's up to you if you want to go for this one. Sorry. Personally, I'd be going for this one here. And that's just basically using my trading strategy. You know, you've got fair value gap there, inversed with 2 bullish candles. You know, already had a really nice sweep and a drop. Planted what I call a base. And then, yeah, you just wait for this second bullish candle to close, enter on the close, stop loss. For me, futures, it's 1 point below, because obviously futures has better spread, but for Forex guys, you know, whatever your spread is, you know, just, although to be fair, it's a long, so, you know, you can probably have the same spread. And then, yeah, what's that, like, yeah, almost 20 points with a 3.5 point risk. Not bad. Yeah, there's the sell-off on NQ. US 30 not selling off too much. Russell made kind of a push, not too drastic. Got rejected off VWAP. Yeah, overall, just a miserable day, guys. I do see NQ pushing, you know, like this low here by today. Ideally, it'll even push PDL, but yes, it's just not really offering us any valid entries. You know, like obviously it pushed into our zone. Oh, actually, to fair note, didn't. Obviously, I said beforehand I was looking 60s and above. So it's just shy of our zone. But yeah, the value just wasn't there either. Quite an uneventful day, guys. So I'm probably going to leave it there, to be honest. We've watched the markets for about an hour. It's not really done a whole lot. And unless we get a crazy sell-off now, I don't really see it doing a whole lot, to be honest. And if it does do anything, it will be, you know, a move like this. So, you know, a lot later in the evening, for me at least. But, yeah, it would just be what I think a sell-off for like the rest of the day. Maybe like a, you know, just before close, like reversal. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today, guys. So, you know, I do apologise for a bit more of a relaxed stream. You know, we're not really taking trades, not really pushing for entries, more just letting the market do its thing. But you know, sometimes you just gotta know when to chill out and when to lay back. You know. Jet Black, I hope you have an amazing weekend too, man, and everyone else in the call for that fact. Let me know if something's your schedule will change. So you stream it. Yeah, I will do, man. But to be honest, I do think that next week will be a write-off. But I should be. To be fair, yeah, I might have to. So the week after next week, I might have to not stream on the Friday. I might have to stream on a different day, because I'm away on the Friday again, and then the week after that, I'm abroad, so I won't be streaming that week either. No worries, Jet Black. But yeah, guys, again, sorry for lack of trades, but the market's just on not what I want to be in right now. So, you can't fault a trader for trying to be safe, right? But, have a blessed day, guys. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. If you are trading, stay safe and stay profitable. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one. So, see you later, guys. Much love. Peace.